Here come the boom. Look who just stepped in the room. Got soldiers in every direction. As long as they stepping in tune. I be in all black with the groom. Watching Babylon fall to doom. Lord, know I'm ready, and I know that you know that her love is deadly, but I am immune. These niggas talking rude to whom? That's a spot, you'll be moving soon, and you'll be leaving shortly. Still fucking with them angels, yeah, they still enforcement. Got a whole lot of zeal, I can't get it off me. Plus I'm winning like I got a blue ribbon on me. He ain't one what, bitch, I'm making party. See, I knew these niggas like to do that pillow talking, so that's why I bought a Glock to the summer party. Got it off the dust. I just began to it pretty much. That brotherhood and weapon, gotta keep it in the clutch. If it ain't one West, nigga, hush. I don't want to hear it, keep your tone down. Had a couple complications, but it's on now. So you can kill it, speculation, bitch, I'm thrown down. And if you want a conversation, set it zone down. Nigga, what he say, I ain't hear him, I done zoned down. Can't walk, this a low mouth. I'm 44, I'm on another level with it. These niggas never listen, so I let the devil get his ass. I try to tell him, I'm a rebel nigga. Better be careful if you ever think I'm stepping in my path. Cause it ain't no game, stay in your lane. Now I'm playing twisted metal with his ass. Got it off the top. I just began to it pretty much. Your brotherhood and weapon, gotta keep it in the clutch. Revenge to my main bitch, I think I got a crush. But you know I.S.U.P.K versus everybody. Got the top, move the buttons like he Teddy Riley. Now I race through the track like a Ricky Bobby. Got it off the dust. I just began to it pretty much. Your brotherhood and weapon, gotta keep it in the clutch. Gotta keep it with me, it's a must. Got it off the dust. I just began to it pretty much. Your brotherhood and weapon, gotta keep it in the clutch. If it ain't one West, nigga, hot. Feel God. Apex on the prowl. Power to all you dogs. Every knee gon' bow. The fear of God. Apex on the prowl. Power to all you dogs. Every knee gon' bow. Gabriel, blow your trumpet now. Woo! Michael, you ready for war? Please show no remorse. They screams and they prayers overlooking the north. A king to a god, like a man to a dog. Sit, know your place, bitch. In the presence of the prince of the power, looking devouring one in my space, bitch. It's a prison ride in America, don't be scared now. The chickens that came home to roost for every strange fruit in the head and the noose. Monsters free on the playground. That's that lion sound. Letting free to ring like a K sound. My pride don't play around. Fuck your truth, lay face down. Allow me to introduce my ski man, so give me the loot. My ancestors similar to Goku, Super Saiyan from Babylon to Timbuktu. Sons of God to return to earth. What you gon' do? Saw the earth on the tumbler. Yeah, man, it hunts you like juju. Your worst nightmare. Niggas with attitude on your square like a compass to latitude. Executing judgment like a lawyer. And the lawsuit putting the toe tag in a black bag like a bodysuit. You reap what you sow, tails from the wheat, reap as dark as the pit, all upon you. Feel God. Apex on the prowl. Power to all you dogs. Every knee gon' bow. The fear of God. Woo! Apex on the prayer. Woo! Out to all you dogs. Woo! Every knee gon' bow. Woo!
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. Truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord.
All right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. You understand? Today is Monday. You understand? The history class where we get into our history. You know what I'm saying? Broke it down line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little, bringing out external references to back up what's in the Bible, right? So today is going to be just a tad bit different. We're going to be going into a lot of historical references, things pulling from Congress and things of that nature. As you see, as the title on the screen, today's class is Aztecs to Jamaicans. In actuality, it's Mayans to Aztecs to Jamaicans, right? As you know, the first slavery or chattel slavery that was in the Americas was done by the conquistadors, which are the Spaniards and the Portuguese, right? So the first people that they enslaved were the natives, right? So we're going to get into a couple of articles here. Let me minimize here on the screen. All right, let's see. Let's go to the first page of the article. 1 second, let me pull it up on the screen so I can be here with you guys. Zoom in a little bit. All right, can you guys see? All right, cool. All right, so this is actually from the Library of Congress. So this is dealing with the Sigua, the southernmost Aztec outpost. All right, let me pull up so we can all read along together. 1 second. Boom, boom. All right, so this comes from the proceedings of the Eighth American Scientific Congress, held in Washington, May 10th through the 18th of 1940, to understand the aspects of the government of the United States of America, Volume 2, the anthropological science studies of the Americas from the Department of the State of Washington via 1942. All right, Konaz, if you will go to that first page in the article that I sent you from this specific outpost from Congress, where it starts, the Siegel, the southernmost Aztec outpost.
Khan, sir.
All right, go ahead.
This is the Sigua, southernmost Aztec outpost by S.K. Lathrop.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that an Aztec colony existed in northwestern Panama.
In northwest where?
Panama.
Okay, so I don't know if you know where Panama is. You understand? All right, but Panama is like right below Central America, going into South America. All right, so there's a canal right there.
around that area, also like Costa Rica, Nicaragua, things of that nature. All right. So there was an Aztec outpost in Panama. Keep reading.
Kana Wankan. In the 16th century, has been known to scholars for over half a century.
Hold on. In the what century?
Half a century.
No. In the
Oh,
16th
in
century.
Kana Wankan, in the 16th century.
So it's been known to them that the Aztecs were stationed in this part of the world until now, but you've never heard these records brought out in any type of history class when you were in grade school. Definitely never heard this brought out in any university. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna bring it out in I.S.U.P.K because this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Read.
Kana, sir. But the curious history of this group, scattered through various documentary sources, has never been brought together.
Mm-hmm.
As the vicissitudes of the Sigua typify larger movements of population.
So the Aztec tribe that was stationed in this area, or I'm not gonna say tribe. I'm just gonna say the Aztec people that were lived in this region. They were known as the Sigua people, right? These Sigua people not only populate this area. So one thing you have to know about the Mayan Empire, right? So the Mayan Empire started around. I mean, the area was like known where like Mexico City was, and like they spread vastly into North America, into Central Mesoamerica, into South America, right? And this is around, I mean, give or take, 2300 to 2600 BC, right? So and then the Aztecs come on the scene probably around the 16th century, like it's saying now, right? So what you I'm sorry, not hold on, make sure my dates are right. Hold on 1 second on the Aztecs. I don't want to give misinformation. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. All right, so yeah, I was right. Okay, so I just wanted to verify. So the Aztecs were Nahuatl speaking people who lived in central Mexico around the 14th to 16th century. The tribute empire spread throughout Mesoamerica. The Mayan people lived in Southern America, Northern Central America, through the Yucatan Peninsula. They also spread into North America. Also, a great book to get is this book right here, The Mound Builders by Stephen D. Peet. It goes into the vast history and diversification of the Mayans through the different Native American tribes, also with the Aztecs and the tribes that derive from the Aztecs. So you got your Choctaw, your Creek, Muskogee, Cherokee people. These are also mountain people that are descendants from the Mayans that came from the settlements that the Mayans made in these various parts throughout the world. So the people that we're dealing with right now, the Sigua people, they are an offshoot from the Mayan Empire to the Aztecs, and this is the remnant of the Aztec Empire that are in the Panama area. All right, keep reading.
Kana, sir. And what must have been the fate of many other native tribes during the colonial period.
Mm-hmm.
We shall follow the course of events which carried them from Anuak to Panama and ultimately to the island of Jamaica.
Ultimately to where?
The island of Jamaica.
So we're about to go over the story of how not only they got from Panama, they went from Panama, Costa Rica area, and from Costa Rica to Jamaica, right? So a lot of the Jamaicans that are in Jamaica, the Bunyamians, right? You know, a lot of them have ties all the way back to the Aztec and Mayan Empire, right? Um, so I mean, a lot of people, you know, in that are Binyamin might not be Binyamin. You know what I'm saying? You might have Binyamin and Issachar. You might have Binyamin, Issachar, Nefertali. Might be some Asher in there. You know, we are you know, we're a speckled bird. You know, but it's very important. You know, I mean, well, that's why they always say, you know, don't worry about genealogy, because we've all been moved around everywhere, because the idea is when the conquistadors came over here, you know, they didn't bring slaves over here. What they would do is they would circulate slaves that they would capture in the region where they were. So they would take, you know, people from Panama, take them to Nicaragua. People from Nicaragua, take them to Barbados. People from Barbados, take them to Jamaica. People from Jamaica, take them to Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And they would just circumnavigate these people, and they had their own slave trade between the Caribbean islands and Mexico, Mesoamerica, Central America, the Yucatan Peninsula, and South America. All right, keep reading.
Kawakan, sir. The name Sigua is also spelled Segua, Zegua, Chigua, and it is thought that Zykuka,
Yeah, Zysegus.
Zysiguas,
Mm-hmm.
and Chichagua
Mm-hmm.
and Shilaba may be synonyms.
Mm-hmm.
Sigua signifies stranger,
Signifies what?
stranger
Mm-hmm.
in the language of Talamanca, and is comparable to the Aztec words Popoloca and Chantal, or the Greek Bapapos,
Mm-hmm.
Bapos, which were applied indiscriminately to foreigners.
All right. So that lets you know that in the land that they were in, there were strangers amongst the tribes that were already settled there, right? So, like Israelites, we are a nomadic people, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Abraham went from Mesopotamia, you know what I'm saying, all the way to where the land of Canaan was. You know what I'm saying? He left his father's house and traveled all the way down to the land of Canaan. You know what I'm saying? Which is where we get Paleo Ancient Phoenician Hebrew from, right? So in Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, you know, or Hebrew basically means a sojourner, a stranger, right? So here we are carrying in the traditions of our ancestors. All right, go ahead, keep reading.
Khan Wakan. The earlier modern reference we have found to the Sigua is in Gabb's classical work on the Indian tribes and languages of Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
He did not, however, recognize their linguistic affiliations and merely states that when he visited the country, a tribe which he called Shalaba was extinct and that their language was lost.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that these Indians spoke the Aztec tongue apparently was first ascertained by the great Costa Rican scholar Leon Fernandez, whose publication of a large series of documents has supplied the material on which this study is based. Brenton in 1891 and Peralta in 1893 both classified the Sigua among the Nahua tribes, but as recently as 1911, Thomas and Swanton thought it necessary to state that although their existence had been denied, the historical evidence did not admit of that. This evidence we shall now examine. The first hint that Mexican Indians were living in Panama dates from the year 1541, when a soldier named Cristobal Cancino declared that the cacique Coaza had said to him that Hernan Sanchez de Badajoz was a gentleman but that was a gentleman, but that Rodrigo de Contreras was a motayin, a word which means poor in the Aztec tongue.
All right. So if you look on your screen, right? So this is the region in which the Aztecs were, right? So you have Costa Rica up to your left, and then you have Panama down the area that's highlighted to the bottom right. So these are the two areas where the Sigua people populated. All right. So we're gonna go to page. Let's go to page 113. All right. So yeah, you gonna go to page 113.
Okay, I'm there.
All right. Start reading. Yeah. All right, yeah. Start where it says, "Yet there had arisen in the Caribbean a new social political power."
Come, sir. This is page 113. Yet there had arisen in the Caribbean a new political power which soon was destined to destroy the Sigua, a feat which the Spaniards had failed to accomplish in nearly 2 centuries of intermittent warfare.
So a new faction arose, you understand, to destroy the Aztec people, right? So beforehand, you understand, like these the Spaniards, all right, when they first came, they weren't able to do this. Okay. So now they were trying to figure out a new way of how they can do this. All right. So keep reading.
Come, sir. This was the kingdom of the mosquitoes.
The what?
The mosquitoes.
So the mosquito. All right. So remember. So the word sigua, right, is a word that means stranger, right? So they were strangers in the land of the mosquitoes, right? The mosquitoes were the people that were native to that area, all right, between Panama and Costa Rica. Keep reading.
Come, sir. The history of the mosquitoes is briefly as follows. In 1641, a shipload of
A shipload of what?
Negro slaves,
Mm-hmm.
under charge of a Portuguese named Lorenzo Grimalso, was wrecked on an island known as Mosquitoes off the coast of Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the Negroes escaped and organized as an army. They conquered various native tribes.
Mm-hmm.
With the women of the conquered, the victors rapidly increased in numbers, creating a mixed race.
Mm-hmm.
Encouraged by the English in Jamaica, who formally recognized a mosquito king, they raided Spanish and Indian settlements, selling the men to the English as slaves and
So, hold on, selling them to the who as the slaves?
the English as
You
slaves.
understand? So these people went into this land, established a military, you understand? And then what they did was they took the men, you understand, and sold them to the English that were from the Jamaican colony because the English ruled the basically the whole Caribbean area, right? So they sold them to them, right? And then they kept the women, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever to rape them. Because, you know, a tactic and a rule in warfare is when you go in to invade a land, you either kill off all of the men and all the children, or you sell off all of the men and you kill the children and you impregnate all the women with your seed, right?
Right.
This is the tactic of the white man. You understand? And it don't matter if they Spaniard, don't matter if they Portuguese, conquistadors, the English, the French. This is all the tactic that they practice. All right? Keep reading.
Come, sir. These depredations were extended as far north as the Petén and southward to the Chiriqui and Portobello.
Mm-hmm.
Plans for the extermination of the mosquitoes were drawn up as early as 1711 and 1714,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing seems to have been accomplished. And in 1720, the king ordered the Spanish minister in England to make formal protests over the sale of Spanish subjects as slaves in Jamaica.
Spanish subjects as slaves where?
In Jamaica.
Where?
Jamaica.
Keep reading.
Como Khan. That the Sigua were taken in these raids comes to light as a result of an investigation ordered by the Spanish crown in 1722.
All right. So, just to give you some visual aids, right? Of what, some of the Aztec people look like in that time. You know what I'm saying? Um Wait for it to pull up on the screen. All right, so to the left, all right, is a picture of what the Aztec sun god would look like. To the right, you see a picture of uh, from a Aztec calendar manuscript. All right, so I'm gonna give you a couple of visual aids to show you. So it ain't just in just illustration. All right, so let's get some pictures of actual people that are Bunyamin or live in the island of Jamaica compared to illustrations of the Aztec people. On the left, you got the artist Masego, right? To the right, you know what I'm saying? You have an illustration from where my book go? From this book, the 500 Nations. To show you the full picture real quick. Hold on, that's on page. Hey, Shalom, sis. Where's that picture? So y'all can see the full picture, which is crazy. Here it is, right here. So this is the full picture. This is a Aztec colony. All right, around the Costa Rica Panama area. Right. So that's in this book, The 500 Nations. All right. So you got Masego on your left. You got a picture of another Aztec that's in the picture that I just showed you from the 500 Nations, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. All right, so this is also this the actor that played as Bushmaster in Luke Cage. I forget the actor's name. He's from Jamaica as well. But to the right, it's another person that's illustrated in that full portrait. All right, from the book 500 Nations, Aztec brother that's working. You understand? All right, let's go back to that page we was reading from on page 113. Pull it back up for them so they can. All right, so start over with that paragraph of that the Sigua.
Como Khan, sir. That the Sigua were taken in these raids come to light as a result of an investigation ordered by the Spanish crown in 1722.
Mm-hmm.
The governor of Costa Rica, Don Diego de la Haya Fernandez, reported on the 30th of September that over 2,000 Indians had been taken from the island of Tuhar and the adjacent mainland.
So how many of them?
Over 2,000.
So over 2,000. So we're going to say, 25, 2,700. Keep reading.
The greater part of these had been exchanged in Jamaica for guns and munitions.
For what?
For guns and munitions.
Uh-huh.
Iron and steel and coarse clothing, which traffic is current every year.
You understand? So they were taken from this region. All right. So where is this is Costa Rica right here. All right. So this is Nicaragua up here. This is the Costa Rica area right here. Okay. So So they were taken from this area and they were shipped. Let's scroll up. Jamaica should be right around. Let's scroll up too far. Scroll like. All right. So here's Costa Rica. All right, and there's Jamaica. All right, so just giving you visual aid of where they were taken from and where they were shipped from. So they were taken from Costa Rica and shipped to Jamaica for guns, ammunition, for iron, and for steel. Right. So this gives you an idea of so they got the slave trade from the Portuguese and from the Spaniards, also known as the conquistadors. The English got it from them, right? So what they would do is they would conquer a known area, right, and subdue the people that was there. All right, they would take the men, rape the women, right? So it's hard for me to put you in slavery, you know what I'm saying, in the land and where you from. So they would ship them off to another area. All right. So the Sigua people, the area that they sent them to, or one of the places they sent them to was Jamaica, right? And as you saw from the visual aids, you know what I'm saying? This boy Masego looked like he a straight Aztec warrior. You know what I'm saying? He looked just like the Aztec to the right. You know what I'm saying? He looked just like him. You feel me? And Masego, he's Jamaican. He's Jamaican descent. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the brother that starred as the enemy Luke Cage in the Marvel series Luke Cage on Netflix. You understand? So these brothers look exactly like the Aztec people. You understand? Which shows you that we are all the same people. You understand? All right. So let's get back to the article from the United States Congress. Let me pull it back up. So lock you. Boom. What's that? Yeah. All right. So keep reading.
Come. We have found only one more historical reference to the Sigua in a report on the missions of Talamanca.
The missions of what?
Talamanca, written in 1763 by Fray Manuel de Orculu. The strangest thing in the mountain region of Talamanca, he writes, is that the Indians of the Sigua tribe, who are upon the islands and shores of the North Sea, all or nearly all of them have a tail more than a third of a yard long. And doubtless on account of this monstrosity, they do not mingle with the other tribes.
All right, so dodge the misdirection. They trying to say they had these people did not have tails. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to make them out to be monsters because they thought that the natives were extremely ugly. Like where's one of my books? Do I have it with me? Yeah, this book right here. In this book, The World of the Southern Indians, Virginia Pounds Brown and Laurel Owens, it describes the native people with heavy brows, high foreheads, and broad sunken in noses, very hideous upon the eyes. You know what I'm saying? So you can imagine, they're trying to describe these people as monsters. So when, their women come, they won't want to mingle with them. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes you gotta, disregard some of the information that they have in there. All right. Keep reading.
Come, sir. But are only to be met with on the island of Tuxar, whither the other tribes go to trade for cacao, the yield of which is there very good in quality and abundant. This island is very fertile and abounds in fruits such as plantains, pineapples, etc.
Hold on. I mean, that lets you know where they at. You know what I'm saying? You know, the plantano. You know what I'm saying? That lets you know where they are. So, you know, those one thing that you can always tell about history, like when you're reading the Bible or you're reading the records, when they describe the vegetation, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like Passover. Let me see what I forget. The month of a Passover is during the month of Abib, right? Or Abaddad, right? So that month in Hebrew literally translates to green corn. You understand? And Native Americans literally have a green corn festival the same time as Passover, which literally lets you know that they're the same people. This is why it's important to know region of vegetation. You understand? And historically, where these things go and where they come from. Okay? All right, keep reading. Where you at?
Um,
Right
this
before you say
island,
the island of Thunto, keep reading.
come, sir. This island is very fertile and abounds in fruits such as plantains, pineapples, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But as I am informed, it is already deserted on account of the repeated invasions which have been made by the Zombos and Mosquitoes in league with the English, who carry away the people, selling the men in Jamaica and making use of the
You can go to the next page and keep reading.
women.
All right. So what you have to understand is the white. Hey, come get the cat. You know what I'm saying? With Salakia. So what you have to understand is like there's no new thing under the sun, right? So you know how they say Africans sold Africans into slavery? It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like they got different tribes to sell out other tribes into slavery. So Sigua literally translate into strangers. They were strangers in the land that was populated by the Mosquito people, right? The Mosquito people were another native tribe. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing different. So like in the Americas, right? You had Choctaw and Creek. You had like you had the Muskogee Creek War. I'm sorry, the Creek War against the Choctaw, right? They were sworn enemies, right? Because they they were inhabitants of the land between Alabama, Georgia, and Louisiana, right? So when they would go to war, whoever they captured, right, they would sell them off as slaves to. So like the Creek were in league with the French. No, the Creek were in league with the English. The Choctaw were in league with the French, right? So when the Creek would capture Choctaw, they would sell them to the English. When the Choctaw would capture Creek, they would sell them to the French. No difference than here. You know what I'm saying? The Mosquitoes, this is their land, and the Sigua, as they call them, they were Aztecs, right? But they called them Sigua in their language, means stranger. You understand? They were in league with the English, capturing them, selling them to the English for guns and ammunition, and the English were sending them to Jamaica to be slaves, to cut down sugarcane, right? Also to Haiti, that whole Caribbean area. You understand? So they're just rotating people like a pot of stew. You understand? And just stirring the pot. You know what I'm saying? So you taking a people and putting them in with another people, so that way they can't speak the same language. You understand? And the common language, the language of the oppressor.
Right.
All right. So let's see. Let me go to the page. Or you on 114, huh?
Come.
All right, let me get there with you. It's 111, 14. All right, keep reading.
Come, sir. The few that are left have withdrawn into the hills, where they have their settlements are palinquas. We have dealt at length with the Sigua because they illustrate two great movements of native populations, one in Aboriginal and one in colonial times. The first concerns the expansion of the Aztec.
The expansions of the who?
The Aztec.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up something that I did not send you, Shalakia. Hold on, I'm about to send it to you right now. Gotta love airdrop. You know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. All right. Airdrop. Go to your hey sis, you know how to work airdrop on your phone? All right, no sweat. Hey, Konaz, let me see your phone real quick. You gotta turn your Bluetooth on, brother. No sweat. All right, you got it? All right, no sweat. All right, let me pull it up on the screen so they can read it along with you. Yep, there we go. All right, go ahead.
Khan. This is data of maize in Talamanca.
Where?
Talamanca, Costa Rica, and hypothesis by Doris Stone.
Okay, so if you remember the region, now go back. I'll read what we read on page 113. We have found only one more historical reference of the Sigua and report on the missions of Talamanca, written in 1763 by Fray Manuel de Icurula. The strangest things in the mountains of the regions of Talamanca, he is written or he writes. All right. So this is data of the maize of in Talamanca, Costa Rica, a hypothesis by Doris Stone. All right, go ahead and read.
Khan, sir. What is now known as the Talamanca Valley is in truth the great floodplain of the Tiller or Sixola River in northeastern Costa Rica. In pre-Columbian times, it formed part of the province of Ara, which extended from the northern half of the actual Talamancan Range to the Caribbean Sea.
All right. So if you look at your screen, that is this area right here where my mouse is. All right. So from Puerto Viejo de Talamanca all the way over here to Bocas del Toro province in this area over here. This is the Costa Rican Sea over here. Um, but this area right here, Puerto Viejo de Talamanca, is probably one of the last uninterrupted paradises that you can go to and visit it and vacation to. You know, if you ever want to plan a trip, it's a great place to go. All right, it's beautiful. You understand? You go there, you don't gotta worry. Matter of fact, what's that movie? Where they went, was it like couples retreat? Yeah, that's where they shot that movie at. You know what I'm saying? It was like nobody. It was like you had the couples area, then you had the singles area, right? But it was off in the waters, right? That area is this area over here, south of Puerto Viejo de Telemanca. That's over here in the Costa Rican Sea where Bocas Tor province is, and in this area right here where you see my mouse at. All right. Where we at? All right. So you reading?
Khan, sir. This floodplain has also been called by other names, some of which are Guyami, Doi, and Cuoco, called by, I mean, called by, oh, before the European came.
Mm-hmm.
This region was inhabited by
Diverse.
by diverse peoples, among whom can be counted the groups we know today by the collective term Talamancas,
Mm-hmm.
in-
So they called so one. Well, I'm gonna let them explain it. Keep reading.
including the Bribri and the Kabakaris. The majority of the Aboriginal inhabitants of this area made evident through their manner of living and language affiliations a connection with the Southern Hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another people in the valley who were
There
newcomers.
were what?
Newcomers.
There was another people in the valley that were newcomers. All right. Keep reading.
Come. At the time of the Spanish arrival, and whose culture reflected a northern origin.
That reflected of where?
A northern origin.
You understand? So these people come from northern of Mesoamerica. Mesoamerica is Central America. So this is around Mexico area, right? So the Aztecs are descendants from the Mayans, right? They are an offshoot because the Mayans, like I said, they got like like they have settlements in Utah, they have settlements in Alabama, they have settlements in Louisiana, all over Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. You know what I'm saying? So and all in the Yucatan Peninsula. You know what I'm saying? They went as far up as Utah and as low as South America and the Amazon and the Yucatan Peninsula. All right. So keep reading. So we got a newcomer into the areas of the Talamancas, you know what I'm saying, or the Mosquito people. Okay, keep reading.
Come. They were known as the Sigua.
They were known as the what?
The Sigua or Sequa, and were in truth warrior settlers under the guise of merchantmen.
You understand? So basically, just like the Great Diaspora in 70 AD, they fleeing from oppression. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna go in the area of people that look like us. You understand? But the people that look like us know that they ain't us. You understand? Hence the saying, all my skin folk ain't my kinfolk. Right. You understand? That's why it's the dumbest saying that Africans sold Africans into slavery. It's just like saying Indians sold Indians into slavery. That's not true. You understand? It was tribal warfare, right? You understand? Just think of it like, okay, like when Katrina happened. All right. So when Katrina happened in America, all right, you had refugees from New Orleans and Louisiana that moved all over Texas, right? And when they came here, it was big beef. You understand? Because you had people from New Orleans thinking they can like live like they was living in New Orleans in Texas, and we don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? So there was fights all in the school. You know what I'm saying? It was increased violence in the streets. You understand? Because the different tribes, we the same people, but we different tribes going to war with each other because you coming from somewhere else acting like you still there. You know what I'm saying? You know that a quote is you don't go visit somewhere and act like you from there. You know what I'm saying? That's not smart. You know what I'm saying? You stick out like a sore thumb. Like people from Louisiana and Texas, they stick out like a sore thumb. They be like, hey, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, or like we go, or if we go to Alabama or New York talking about, know what I'm talking about, you feel me? Already. I'm like, hey, what's up with B? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Or we saying bro. Or somebody from Cali come to the South. Like they gonna sound hella proper. You feel me? So you know people that's not from your region, even though they look like you, like, hey bro, where you from, fam? You know what I'm saying? Who your people? You know what I'm saying? Where your mama from? You feel me? So that's what's going on right now. We got, they said, a newcomers into a land. All right, keep reading.
Comes. Dr. Walter Laban does not believe that the Siguas were pre-Columbian inhabitants of this region, but that they arrived with Rodrigo de Contreras. His reasons appear faulty, however. The first Spaniard to reach this section arrived in 1540 and found the valley called Coaza or Coca after a chieftain. As Dr. Samuel K. Lothrop aptly points out, this cacique used an Aztec word in describing Contreras as his second in command, Coxel.
All right, I'm gonna let me send you these other two. I should have sent it to you at the same time. Salakia. Boom, boom, boom. All right. This page. Let me do it like this. Boom. All right, bam. Go make sure your AirDrop on, bro. I mean your Bluetooth on. Let me see your phone, bro. Nah, I don't got nothing to do with it. Boy, sword from Hebrew Academy. Oh, there you go. All right, bam. Got it? All right. Let me pull it up on the screen for them. All right, so this is a continuation on this article. Where we at? Start on page 190. Yeah, that's it. All right, go ahead.
Come. This is the Society de Americantis. It is generally believed that the appearance of the Sigua in Central America took place as a result of a plan of expansion for the Aztec Empire.
So, okay, so here we go. All right. So it is generally believed that the appearance of the Sigua in Central America took place as a result of a plan of expansion from where?
The Aztec Empire.
AKA the Maya. Right? The Aztecs just carrying on the same mission the ancestors did. We're going to go out, we're going to explore, we're going to establish a settlement for our people, because as our people continue to grow, if this city is too much, it's just like the United States, all right? So, you know, like my family from the same place where Kanaw's family from Alabama. You understand? But my family left from Alabama, went to the Midwest and went to Louisiana. You understand? So they was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Chicago, New Orleans. You understand? And then me, a product of them, they funneled back down south to Texas. Okay, so they setting up, you know what I'm saying, different settlements all over the nation, just like any other people does, to get a better opportunity for their family. All right, keep reading.
Come, sir. By the Emperor of Mexico, Ahutzoto.
Yeah, Ahuizotl.
Ahuizotl, who reigned from 1486 to 1502. Certain it is that the Emperor Montezuma II received ample credit in the early documentation for this eastern advance. It is also conceded that it was gold that brought the Mexicans to the province of Ara. Gold was found here and worked in the adjacent regions.
I mean, it's the same thing that brought the conquistadors. You know what I'm saying? Is they were searching for the gold city. You understand? Which was settlements of the Aztecs and the Mayans. You feel me? So the Mayans, right? So like you got to understand these people were an advanced people. Like when you go to Teotihuacan, you understand, and all of these other ruins in the Aztec, in the Yucatan Peninsula, Panama, Tulum, which is a new resort site. You go to the ruins, they have very advanced technological buildings. You understand? Buildings that can't be replicated today. You understand? Just like the pyramids can't be replicated today. They still don't know how they move these 1,000-ton blocks and set them in place. It would be proven to be a difficult task today and set in geometrical precision. You understand? Without mortar. You know what I'm saying? Like all the ruins that are in South Central Mesoamerica, Mexico, and in the Americas, like these settlements don't have mortar. Like they're perfectly put in place. Like there's no air gap. You understand? And even with the earth moving, there's no cracks like you would have in a foundation. You understand? So which proves that they had advanced knowledge of technology and engineering and architectural sciences. You understand? So, and also they had advanced aqueduct systems and things of that nature. They still don't know how they did today, how they were able to make what you. The only way that you can do that today is with a 3D printer, but on land, right? And you want to make me believe that these people only had hand carving tools to do all of this? The hell out of Dodge, man. You know what I'm saying? These people were the children of the Most High God. That's why they were able to do these things. You understand? Keep reading.
Come, sir. Furthermore, Ara lay on the western periphery of a 50-league trading tract which stretched eastward into areas where metallurgy evidenced even greater technique.
Mm-hmm.
This skill in working metal, as well as the objects themselves, were coveted by the warrior merchant clique who helped to maintain and to make great the Aztec dynasty. When
Hold on, to make great the what dynasty?
Aztec dynasty.
All right. Is that it on there? No, keep reading.
Come. When the newcomers appeared in the province, the term Sigua, signifying foreigner in the local tongues, was applied to them.
There we go. There we go again. So this is another article. Another excerpt from another book, further backing up what the excerpt from the United States Congress is saying. Right. The word Sigua, just like the word Ibri, Ibri is Hebrew for the word Hebrew, right? Which means sojourner or stranger. Just like Sigua means sojourner or stranger or foreigner, right? You know what I'm saying? It's congruences in all of the stories because we've been doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Since the beginning of time. All right, keep reading.
Come. It was only a question of time before the valley of the Tahrir River came under their dominance, and the erstwhile native chieftains admitted their homage or were pushed back into the hill lands where they offered continuous sources of war and disorder. As the infiltrating merchants did not come under the guise of permanent colonists, they accepted much of the manner of living of the valley inhabitants,
Mm-hmm.
especially where foodstuffs were concerned. The Sequels found that the people of Aura turned to two primary products for their daily sustenance in addition to cocoa, which they were already familiar.
All right. So, all right, so let's go back to the article. We're gonna go to let's see. Matter of fact, no, I'm let's see what page I want you to go to. All right, I want you to go to page 114. In the first one that I sent you, the first article I sent you. Let's see. Let me pull it up myself. All right, cool. All right, when you got it, go ahead and read it.
Come. You want to start back over on 114?
Yeah, start at the top of 114.
Come, sir. The few that
Hold
are
on, we stopped at where it says the earliest of the journeys, right? No. We stopped where it
I think
said.
we have a paragraph above that.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Start right there.
Come. It is a matter of general knowledge that a great migration of Toltecs from Mexico had taken place several centuries before the conquest,
Mm-hmm.
which brought Mexican settlers to the Yucatan, Guatemala, Salvador, and Nicaragua. The Aztec, however, although they founded no large colonies when they later rose to power, were ambitious travelers
They were
who
what?
ambitious travelers.
Right. So they understood that the land was for everybody, right? And when we say the land, like like we all the same people, right? So like, but think of it like this. Think of like, you you go to a family reunion, you got third and fourth cousins, you like, who these niggas? You know what I'm saying? Like coming to the family reunion, like, bro, I ain't never seen you before, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you get so far removed and y'all get settled in y'all area. So when y'all people roll into town, you don't even know that they your family. You know what I'm saying? Similar to how Bloods bang on Crips, GDs bang on Vice Lords. You know what I'm saying? Niggas bang on Vatos. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you so far removed from your people that you don't know that they your people. So you think when they roll in your sect or in your area, you think they the enemy. You think they trying to take your resources. You know what I'm saying? You think they trying to build on your corner. But in actuality, you should be open arms for them because they your family. You understand? Keep reading.
Come, who recreated areas far beyond those listed in their tribute rolls.
Mm-hmm.
The earliest of these journeys, which has been recorded, took place during the reign in Mexico of the Emperor Ahuitzotl. Ahuitzotl.
Yeah, the same person we just read.
Come.
This is literally saying the exact same thing that was in that article. I'm just giving you references to know, so you know that this just ain't somebody pulling this out of their butthole. You feel me?
Right.
Keep reading.
Come. Who sent his troops southward to seek an alliance with one of the major tribes of Guatemala,
Mm-hmm.
a proposal which was everywhere rejected. It appears that previously there had been a penetration by Aztec merchants who had settled all over Guatemala and Salvador in order to act as spies.
Mm-hmm.
The Guatemalan chiefs cleaned up this fifth column, which then moved to Salvador and to a place called Quilon, Quilonimi. Mm-hmm.
Kuili na Mahihi. Sorry.
Coahuila Mahihi.
We'll go with it. That's fine.
That'll work. On the north coast, various Aztec settlements in northern Honduras, dating apparently from just before the conquest, have also been recorded.
So the Aztecs, all right, also known as the Mayans, right? They're offshoot of the Mayan Empire, right? So we've established not only were they in Panama, not only were they in Costa Rica, they were in Guatemala, they were in El Salvador, and they were in Honduras as well, right? So they all over Central and Mesoamerica, also going into the Yucatan Peninsula, going into South America, because they're establishing different colonies, all right, all over this side of the world. All right, keep reading.
Come. In Nicaragua,
Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull. Well, while you talk, keep reading. I'm gonna pull it up on the map so they can get visual aid of the area.
come. There is a large Mexican colony of Toltec ancestry on the Pacific. On the North Sea and near the Desaguadero, Rio San Juan, Ro Torquemada, there is a town of these Indians, and they speak a Mexican dialect, not so corrupt as that of Pipilis.
All right. So now, if you look at your screen, all right, you'll see. So basically, everything south of Mexico was considered Central or Mesoamerica. They had settlements in. So you got Guatemala right here, Honduras, Salvador, Nicaragua, right? They were in Panama and Costa Rica. So they were in all of Central or Mesoamerica. I mean, they already had establishments and settlements in Mexico because they're descendants from the Mayans. All right. So in the Mayans, like I said, they spread. So from Mexico City, they spread north and south. All right. Keep reading.
Con. The suspicion that this was an Aztec colony is based not only this statement, but also on a royal cedula dated 1535, in which the Queen of Spain ordered the outlet of the San Juan River to be explored because gold was shipped thence to Montezuma by the way of Yucatan.
Mm-hmm.
Torquemada also wrote of Nahua-speaking Indians who pushed down the San Juan River and went to Nombre de Dios in eastern Panama, possibly of whom Goya wrote.
You skipped the line. Possibly the Sigua were part of this band.
Possibly the Sigua were part of this band.
All right, so that's very important to know, right? So the Sigua were the people that were coming into Panama and going into the Yucatan Peninsula. All right, keep reading.
It is also possible that they formed the tribe of whom Goya wrote. In Nombre de Dios, there was a certain race of people called Chachures with a language different from that of the other Indians.
Mm-hmm.
They came to settle in this place in canoes from Honduras.
Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
These instances of Aztec penetration to the south from Mexico, which we have mentioned, are isolated, to be sure, but apparently they represent a consistent scheme of expansion.
All right. So I want you to go to the next page. Let me pull it up on the screen for them. Oh, did it transfer? Hold on 1 second. Got a little technology. What page? You on 114, right? All right, let me scroll up. All right, go ahead.
Conceived by the Emperor Huizotl and continued under his successor Montezuma II. Had not the Spaniards arrived, it seems quite possible that the Aztec, in course of time, might have conquered or made tributary most of Central America. Yet it is doubtful that they possessed the political sagacity to consolidate their holdings as did the Inca dynasty. At any rate, the Sigua represent the process of expansion of a strong military state arrested before it had attained maturity.
Mm-hmm.
We may also note that the Sigua later formed part of a great forced migration from the American continent to the West Indies, where slaves were needed to primarily work in
Man,
the
you got to read that one slow. Start over again where it says we may.
sir. We may also note that the Sigua later formed part of a great forced migration,
A small forced
a
migration.
great forced migration.
So a large migration of people to where?
The West Indies
Mm-hmm.
from the American continent.
So not only did they send the Siguas to the West Indies, but they were also in the Americas. Remember how I said, like the Aztecs and the Mayans, they have offshoots in Alabama, Louisiana, Utah. You know what I'm saying? Virginia. You feel me? Like I said, another great book. Make sure y'all. This is a great book to get. The Mound Builders, by Stephen D. Peet. Great book that breaks this stuff down. You know what I'm saying? I'll pull up a random illustration after we finish going through this just to show you they were all the way up in Ohio. You know what I'm saying? There's a mountain in Ohio of a menorah that it's like you can't even see it on, like you have to be in the air in order to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's carved into the ground. You know what I'm saying? What they call them like a crop circle. Like you if you on the ground, you wouldn't be able to see it, but in the air, you're able to see it. But it's a menorah inside of an oil lamp. You know what I'm saying? That's how crazy it is. You feel me? That's how you know the children of Israel were in the Americas. You know what I'm saying? But they were sold from the Americas into the West Indies, also from Costa Rica into the West Indies. All right. So you got Jamaicans that are Aztecs, that are Mayans. You understand? Keep reading.
Common constant. The were needed to primarily work in the mines and later on the plantation. The first Spanish settlers were very uneconomical in their treatment of labor, and the Antillean population was rapidly exterminated.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, in parts of the mainland which produced no Salaki.
Go ahead. That's it.
On the other hand, in parts of the mainland which produced no precious metals, there was, from the Spanish point of view, a surplus of labor which could be sold for a profit.
Mm-hmm.
The extent of this trade has not been fully recorded because the crown soon made it illegal, but it must have been very large.
Mm-hmm.
It apparently has left little trace in the present population of the Antilles because the Indians died off rapidly under the combination of strange surroundings, bad food, and hard labor conditions which Negro slaves were able to survive.
You understand? But you see how they try to switch it at the end, saying how Negro slaves were able to survive, but it's the same people. Right. You understand? And we proved that. You understand? By the illustrations. You understand? Like you got the brothers from Luke Cage. You know what I'm saying? Looking like the Aztecs. You feel me? And then your boy, where your boy at? Masego. You know what I'm saying? Both of these brothers are quote unquote supposedly, they're Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? Their family is from Jamaica. Quote unquote Bunyamin. You know what I'm saying? But as you can see, you know what I'm saying, from their phenotype, from their facial features, they look just like the Aztecs. You know what I'm saying? Which further proves that we were sold all over the world. It was just like a gumbo pot. We were just stirred around. You know what I'm saying? You had the Tainos sent to the 13 colonies. You had the Choctaw, the Creek. You know what I'm saying? The what's the other boys that fought with the soda? I can't remember. They was sent into Mexico. You know what I'm saying? The people that was sent into Mexico sent to Barbados. You know what I'm saying? So they was just stirring the pot so they can keep them subdued because they didn't speak the same language, but they just distant cousins. You know what I'm saying? So to give y'all an example of what I was talking about of a settlement of the Aztecs or the Mayans that was established in Ohio. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. You see that bottom left boy right here? Let me zoom in some more. You know what I'm saying? These are in the sacred grounds of Ohio. These are sacred ruins of the Native Americans of Ohio. That is a menorah inside of an oil lamp. You understand what I'm saying? So we've been all over the land. You understand? So so that's just a little bit. Hold on. Close that one down. All right. So that's just we going over the historical records. You understand? So that is a brief history of how Aztecs became Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? Aztecs became Americans. You know what I'm saying? Aztecs became Hondurans, El Salvadorians, Panamanian. You know what I'm saying? All right. So with that, all right, we're gonna say Amajium, which means to stand. All right. Sar, Aquadam, Wakwanya, Sar, which means to turn. We're gonna do the Lord's Prayer. First in Hebrew, then in English. All right, repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemaya, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wakab, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Asha, Baratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natalanawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalak Noah, Kabawath Noah, Kasalak Noah, Kabawathi Noah, Wala'ah, Tabi'ai Noah, Manasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Noah, Mayan, Rai, Salaki, Kaya, Lakab, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahatapara, La'awalamium, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sar, turn the face in front. Go give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Individual. Body Shabbat. Baji. Rock. How about Shib Yahushua Brakatah? Yazamata. Sar, turn the face to sister. Individual. Body Shabbat. Baji. Rock. Yahweh Shamar Abba Shib Yahushua. Yazamata. Dismiss.